Sometimes, the smallest things bring the biggest fear. Imagine being in your room, safe and quiet, with only the soft glow of a candle for light. The flame flickers as if someone is breathing beside you, but you are alone. You lean closer, uneasy, and the flame goes out. No draft, no open window, just sudden darkness. The air feels heavier, like someone has stepped into the room. You light the candle again, and once more, it burns. Until, without warning, it dies a second time. Every time you strike the match, the flame refuses to stay, as if an unseen hand keeps snuffing it out. And then, in the silence, you hear breathing right next to your ear. Daniel had always liked the quiet of late nights. His old family house, deep in the suburbs of Maine, was usually still after midnight. That evening, he was working at his desk, reading through a book his grandfather had left him about local folklore. He lit a thick candle on the table, the only light in the room, because the house's electricity was acting strange again. The flame burned steady at first, casting soft shadows along the walls. Daniel didn't think much of it until the flame flickered, shuddered, and went out. He frowned. The windows were closed, no draft in sight. With a shrug, he struck another match, relit the candle, and sat back down. The flame glowed bright again, but a strange chill spread through the room, one that made the hairs on his arms stand up. Minutes passed, and just as Daniel began to relax, the candle suddenly snuffed itself out again. This time he felt it. Not just the darkness, but a shift like someone else had stepped into the room. His heart thudded as he grabbed the matches again, his fingers trembling. Maybe it's just the wick, he whispered to himself. But when he lit it again, the flame sputtered like it was gasping for air before dying a third time. Daniel froze. He stared at the melted wax, the smoke curling into the air. The silence of the house pressed on him. Then, in the darkness, he heard its soft breathing, not his own. Slow, steady, right beside his ear. He jumped up, knocking the chair over. His pulse hammered. Who's there? His voice cracked. The breathing stopped. Shaking, Daniel fumbled for his flashlight, but the batteries were dead. Desperate, he struck another match and touched it to the candle. The flame sparked alive, but the instant it burned, he saw something move across the wall. A shadow that wasn't his. Tall, thin, with arms too long, stretching across the wallpaper. The flame went out again, plunging him into blackness. This time, Daniel didn't bother relighting it. He backed toward the door, but it slammed shut before he could reach it. He twisted the knob, it wouldn't budge. Behind him, in the suffocating dark, the breathing returned, heavier now, closer. He pressed against the door, every nerve screaming. Then came the whisper, low and rasping like it. Again Daniel froze, his throat went dry. He had no choice. With trembling hands, he struck another match and lit the candle once more. The light revealed the room empty, silent, but the shadow was still there. It stretched across the wall, even though nothing stood in its path. Slowly, the shadow's head turned toward him, its hollow outline tilted, like it was watching. Daniel's knees weakened. He stumbled back to his desk, clutching the book his grandfather had left. Flipping through the pages in panic, he found a passage about spirits bound to flame. The writing said, "The candle is not the light, it is the door." Once opened, they crossed through the flame. The candle sputtered, wax dripping faster. The shadow's fingers twitched, curling along the wall. Daniel slammed the book shut. He had to end it. With one swift motion, he grabbed the candle and blew hard. The flame died yet, the shadow remained. The walls creaked, the temperature plummeted. And then, for the first time, the shadow peeled itself off the wall and stood in the room. Daniel dropped the candle, stumbling backward. He tried the door again, yanking until his hands ached. But the whisper came again, right behind him. "You lit the door. Now I'm here." The last thing Daniel saw before the lights went out forever was the shadow reaching for his face, fingers wrapping around his eyes. When his neighbors came the next morning, they found his desk overturned, the candle melted into a puddle, and the book open to the page about spirits bound to flame. Daniel was never seen again.